Hello everyone, we are Andy, alternative and diversified view, and my name is Daehoon. These days, the stock price of Kakao Bank is really the center of public concern. So today, we are going to evaluate the stock price of Kakao Bank and explain the reasons whether we have to buy, hold, or sell the stock. Before we really start, our opinion is that we have to sell the Kakao Bank stock. So to know the reasons why you guys have to sell the stock, please listen carefully. Kakao Bank is the first direct bank in Korea which operates two business divisions, banking and platform. As you can see in the PPT slide, left side shows banking division and right side shows platform division of the company. In addition to current business, Kakao Bank plans to enter mortgage loan and live data business in the future. Unlike traditional banks, customers can use direct banks 24 hours online. Using the advantages of online bank-based platform, Kakao Bank's operating income from platform business is increasing steadily, and MAU of Kakao Bank app is also increasing. As a result, considering the business sector growth potential, synergy between affiliates, and IT competitiveness comprehensively, we judge that it is too much simple to select domestic traditional banks as peer group. So next, Dohyeong will explain further details about peer groups we use to evaluate Kakao Bank's stock price.
I'm next presenter Dohyeong. Now I'm going to introduce our selection criteria for peers. Firstly, we want to consider the business direction of Kakao Bank in terms of both current and future position. Even though Kakao Bank is positioned as direct bank, they try to expand business toward mortgage and financial data sectors. Therefore, we graphic Kakao Bank's positioning like this. Traditionally, it was a typical procedure to filter all companies in the industry through financial indicators such as debt ratio and ROE. However, because Kakao Bank is pioneering platform business as we explain in the report, we choose bottom-up method to find proper peer groups. Based on analysis, we decide 4 related industries: direct bank, mortgage and REIT, financial data, and financial exchange. Then, we found 30 companies as peers based on the nature and characteristics of each company. Based on peers' characteristics and main business sector, we can position them based on 4 industry sectors. Then, we can see the proximity between each peer company. Finally, we group direct bank and mortgage REIT as bank sector because they are positioned in traditional banks business. Also, we group financial exchange and financial data as tech sector to reflect the synergy and prevent over-segmentation. Next presenter, Junhyeok, will introduce our investment summary and valuation part.
We compare Kakao Bank's value to its industry peers to assess the financial worth and calculate target price. We previously divided Kakao Bank's peers into 2 separated groups. To evaluate Kakao Bank using these 2 groups, we compare Kakao Bank's value to its industry peers twice. After calculating 2 target prices, first target price using the peer group of banks, second price using the peer groups of tech, we finally calculate weighted average of the prices by referring to Kakao Bank's profit structure. We use price to book ratio as multiple to compare Kakao Bank's value to the peer group of banking companies, since the financial industry applies strict accounting standards and asset integrity is important. Meanwhile, PB also can be defined as the formula right above. In other words, high PB reflects positive correlation with high return on equity and high growth rate of residual income. Based on this, we create linear regression models using PB, ROE, and growth rate of net income of Kakao Bank and its peer group. According to the graph in the left, which tries to explain the relationship between PB and ROE, shows that the model is inappropriate to explain the industry. However, according to the graph in the right, which tries to explain the relationship between PB and NI growth rate, shows that the model is appropriate to explain the industry. The regression result shows t-value of 8.6, which is sufficient to support the statistical correlation between variables. In summary, we analyzed the bank industry with PB and NI growth rate model to assess the financial worth of Kakao Bank. We use price to earning ratio as multiple to compare Kakao Bank's value to the peer group of tech companies, since the tech industry is a promising sector and has high growth potential. Meanwhile, P also can be defined as the formula right above. In other words, high P reflects positive correlation with high long-term growth rates. Based on this, we create a linear regression model using PE and growth rates of NI of Kakao Bank and its peer group. The regression result shows t-value of 8.01, and we decide that the model is appropriate to explain the industry. To determine the weight on each division after dividing Kakao Bank's business division into bank and tech, we refer to the recently published earnings released and the 2020 business report. According to table above, the traditional banking division accounts 90%, and tech division accounts 10% of the total sales of Kakao Bank. However, the importance of tech division is on the rise over the quarters, and the growth rate of quarterly sales is also about 3 times higher. So we assign a weight of 80% to bank division and 20% to tech division. Applying the regression models, a target PB for bank division is calculated as 10, and a target PE for tech division is calculated as 254. Based on the multiples, a target price for bank division is calculated as 61,001, and a target price for tech division is calculated as 60,001. Then we calculate a weighted average of the target prices based on the relative weight of 80% and 20%. Finally, the average target price for the Kakao Bank is calculated as 61,601, and the price range is calculated as from 55,700 to 67,401. We recommend you to sell Kakao Bank since the current price is more expensive than the maximum of the calculated price range. Next presenter, Jewon, will explain about the risk and summarize our presentation.
We are going to check 3 investment risks. The first is market inefficiency. If the market itself works inefficiently, the result of relative valuation would be also mispriced. Especially, you should be aware of the possibility that the stock price may have been overvalued because the market is now a bull market. Second, peer selection. Companies in direct bank could easily expand to other finance-related or even tech platform businesses. So we cannot define direct bank peers clearly now. Moreover, there are no listed domestic direct banks, and selected foreign peers could not fully represent the domestic direct bank situation. Lastly, hurdles of expansion. Recently, the government has suggested regulations that put a brake on the rash expansion of large platform companies. The government also restricted the total amount of loan, so the growth of Kakao Bank's businesses will be put on hold. In addition, as direct banks such as Postbank approach the IPOs, competition in the direct bank industry will be intensified. We have already assessed Kakao Bank's worth considering its high growth rate. We already chose peer companies receiving considerable assessment in the foreign market, but the final price range number is assessed to be about 56,000 to 67,000. So we finally declare our sell opinion again to Kakao Bank. Thank you.